The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
We've had some technical issues. We've tried to connect over to two different laptops now, but we're getting going now. So this might take a bit longer than our 1:30 appointment. So my sincere apologies. But I've got Dr. David Paul here from Vectorvest South Africa in the room with me. And today we're going to discuss this Vectorvest program. I'm very excited about it in the sense that it ties fundamentals and technicals together. And something I always believed in, something called rational analysis. The more informed you are about a company, the better informed you are. But I think I'm going to hand over to Dr. David Paul, and you explain more about himself and more about the software.
Sean, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here. Guys, I'm sorry about this little bit of technical difficulty, but we've swapped laptops and we've managed to get the GoToWebinar software running. It was a bit stressful, so please bear with us. Sean and I, we've known each other for 20 years or so. My story is that I've been a trader for those 20 years, while I was trading and doing some teaching in London, I tripped over Vectorvest in the UK. I took a 5-week trial of Vectorvest in the UK. I was so impressed with the thing that I managed to get the South African agency. And for the last three and a half years, myself and my son Michael have been marketing Vectorvest in South Africa. The program has done really, really well in South Africa. And I'm going to try and show you the program this afternoon. We're still a little bit nervous here, so if you could just let us know that you can hear us, that would be wonderful. That would really be wonderful. So if somebody could just let me know that you can hear me. Yes, thanks guys, that's just wonderful. Thank you. Very stressful. I was telling the chaps earlier that I'm much happier standing in front of 10,000 people at the Dome in Randburg than I would be in working with this contraption on the internet. That said, folks, Vectorvest is the only piece of software that I know of that successfully puts the technical position of a company together with the fundamental position of a company. And by putting the technicals and the fundamentals together, we can simply make better decisions. You're going to be right more often. You should make more money with less emotional trauma. Now, I've been trading technically for most of my life, and I found that trading technically, I really struggled to get my hit rate much above 60 to 65%. And over the last 3 years, when I've put together the technicals and the fundamentals, I've in fact managed to push my hit rate up to about 80%. And emotionally, the journey is much, much easier. And in fact, the journey has given me the confidence to finally do my FSB exams and to put myself onto a path of managing money and building an asset management business. A very small business, Sean. I assure you that I won't be a PSG competitor. That's my particular story and objective. So what does Vectorvest do? So I'm going to put up a little PowerPoint presentation before we get into the program. And the PowerPoint presentation tells us that Vectorvest believes that every trader stroke investor should know 3 things. What's the stock really worth? How safe is the earnings stream? And some idea about timing. And to that end, Vectorvest puts a value to every stock in the database every evening. It looks at the earnings stream and the financial performance and puts a number to the safety of that company every evening. And it then looks at the technical position and issues a buy, sell or hold on every share on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange every single evening. Now, with the South African database, as a default, you get the American database thrown in for free. So you get 360 South African stocks and about 7,500 US stocks. Now, if you don't want the US market, it takes one telephone call to our call center and they'll change that for the UK market, let's say, or for the Australian market, or the Indian market, or the European market. So what's the stock really worth? How safe is it? And when to buy, sell, or hold? In its default fashion, VectorVest recommends buying undervalued stocks that are aggressively growing their earnings safely, that are going up, into a market that's going up. And Sean, I'm glad to report that PSG is one of those shares, and it's been a very good performer for me over the last few months. And I'll show you PSG and a few other shares in a second. So very quickly, guys, VectorVest analyzes in stocks 350 stocks every day in South Africa for value, safety, and timing. Okay. Now, if you hang around to the end of the presentation, and the presentation is going to be quite short today, then I have something really, really special for you, and I'm only doing that because I've known Sean for the last 20 years. Okay, so if you hang around to the end of the presentation, then we'll have something really special for you during the course of the day. My own story, as I've said, is that I found the technical approach to buying and selling shares profitable, and I was quite happy to trade my own money that way. But I'd never had the confidence to manage anybody else's money, and it's taken this mixture of fundamentals and technicals to give me the confidence to, in fact, get these damned exams behind me and start to build a little small asset management business for myself and my son, who I think many of you have met. VectorVest believes in buying rising stocks in rising markets and selling falling stocks in falling markets. Simple as that. What I want to try and do today is that in a few seconds I want to try and analyze any stock in less than 30 seconds. And I want to analyze it for both the technical position, the trend. Martin Pring, a really good technical analyst, defines technical analysis as the study of trends and turning points. And I also want to analyze it fundamentally, and a very good friend of mine tells me that his best definition of fundamental analysis is the search for the true value of a share. And I want to try and put those together for us in 30 seconds. Now, I'm going to go into the presentation, I'm going to the program now, and let's have a look at the VectorVest program itself. Now, the VectorVest program defaults comes up with this front page, which is arranged to be a newspaper which will tell you everything about the market that you need to know. Now, there's lots and lots of boxes here. Don't let that overawe you. And these boxes can be arranged to what you want to try and find out from the market. First of all, yesterday on the South African market, there was 145 shares rising and 41 shares falling. And the buy-sell ratio, which is a measure of the breadth of the market, was 3.54, very respectable. The primary wave, which VectorVest call the short-term trend of the market, is moving from neutral to up. And every day we report the shorter-term trend, the primary wave, and the longer-term trend of the South African market in 2 words. And those are summarized between your eyes on the front page: up and up. That means that the short-term trend of the South African market is up and the longer-term trend is up. If I had more time, I would show you exactly how those are derived. And if you come to one of my Saturday afternoon seminars, I'll show you that in detail. But I have a shortcut for you later on this afternoon, which will in fact mean that you don't have to do that. I want to look at some shares now. And to find the shares, I click on Viewer, and I go to Stock Viewer. We're just pulling in the data. The internet's a little slow, slower than I would like. Right at the top of our Stock Viewer, and rated via a method that I'll explain to you in a second, we have Telkom. Coronation is next. Coronation's been one of our top stocks since we started in VectorVest 3.5 years ago. We've got PSG down here right at the top of the table. FirstRand, Coronation, Standard Bank, Group 5, Sasol. Now I want to actually have a look at Sasol. Everybody knows Sasol. and Sasol, a tremendous prospect. It's making a big, big bet. And my dear old grandfather always told me that the only way to make it big in life was to really get to know something really well. And when you know it really well, bet big. And that's what Sasol are doing. Sasol, listed on the JSE. If you ever get involved with one of our overseas products, you'll find that there are a few exchanges. So Sasol, listed on the JSE. Now, it's trading at 586. Now, you can get that out of the business day. You don't need to get involved with VectorVest for that. It was up R2.15 yesterday. Now, the first proprietary number is value. Now, over the last 26 years, VectorVest had developed a valuation algorithm. It's 26 years in the making, and we value Sasol at 675 Rand. So based on this measure, we feel that Sasol is currently undervalued. And as a default, ladies and gentlemen, we favor undervalued shares. There's just simply less risk there. And Buffett puts it so much better than me when he says that you don't know who's been swimming naked until the tide goes out. Much, much less risk there. Now, the first really major VectorVest proprietary metric is relative value. Now, in relative value, you're going to think about this for a second. We project the earnings of the company for the next 3 years. We make the following assumption. We assume that those earnings will be fully priced at some time over the next 3 years, and we work out what the price will be. We assume that they'll be fully priced at some time over the next 3 years, not when, at any time during the 3 years. We work out what the price will be, and we calculate the upside by taking the projected price and subtracting it from the price today. We divide that upside by what a short-dated South African bond will pay over the next 3 years, and the resultant number is relative value. Sasol has a relative value of 1.34. And that's saying, ladies and gentlemen, that Sasol should outperform a short-dated South African bond by 34% over the next 3 years, which on a scale between 0 and 3, 0 and 2, should I say, is excellent. Now, the next number is relative safety, and relative safety measures the financial performance and the safety of the earnings stream. It's on a scale between 0 and 2, and as we can see, Sasol has a relative safety of 1.47. This is saying that the numbers in this company are good and the numbers are getting better. I think that you can look upon it as a mistakes index. At a relative safety of 1.47, this company has made very, very few mistakes over the last few years. The third number is relative timing. And it takes the trend and it massages that trend between 0 and 2. Now, above 1, it's saying that the trend is up. Below 1, it's saying that the trend is down. The further above 1, the faster Sasol's moving up the page. And then what Dr. Doledo then did, which nearly made me fall off a chair the first time I saw it, was that he put together relative value and relative safety and relative timing into the one single number: value, safety, and trend. And thus, he put together the fundamental position of a share with the technical position of the share, and I'd never seen that done before. If you've ever been to an investment meeting, you'll know the technical analysts sit on one side, the fundamental analysts sit on the other side, and they don't speak to each other, at least until the first drink, and after the first drink they throw abuse at each other. So here was this guy who's got a PhD in chemical engineering. About 30 years ago, he decided to throw out all that dogma and try and put the technical position and the fundamental position together into the one single number. And ladies and gentlemen, as a default, all of the shares on the South African market are arranged on VectorVest by descending value, safety, and trend. Every evening, we put a buy, sell, or a hold recommendation on every single share on the JSE. And as you can see, Sasol's on a buy recommendation. There's a very simple set of trend following rules, to calculate the buy, sell, and hold. They're not complicated. It can be used as a timing method, but its biggest use is in fact to work out the breadth of the market. And every evening we work out the number of shares going up divided by the number of shares falling on the JSE to work out the breadth of the advance. And as we'll see, if I had more time, our objective is to find a share that's undervalued, which is Sasol, that's growing its earnings aggressively, relative value, and safely, relative safety, that's going up, relative timing, and we want to buy that into a JSE that's going up, and we define the JSE's direction by 1, its direction over the last 2 weeks, 2, its momentum over the last 21 days, and the breadth of the market as taken over the last 21 days. And the buy-sell ratio was there to work out the breadth of the advance. Now, a company can drop the ball, ladies and gentlemen, and in fact, we calculate a stop loss for every share on the market every evening. The stop loss is based on a moving average, but it's an adjusted moving average which is adjusted for the fundamentals. If the fundamentals are good, we widen the stop loss. If the fundamentals are drawing in other words, the relative value is coming down towards 1, the relative safety is coming down towards 1, then we tighten the stop loss up. Very sexy indeed. The objective is to put a stop loss in place which is well out of the traffic to allow good shares that are aggressively growing their earnings to proceed up the page. Now, to the right-hand side, we have lots and lots of projections of the financial numbers. These projections are in fact used to calculate relative value and relative safety. Okay, so that's Sasol, and what we can do is that I can call up a full report on Sasol, and I hope the internet's going to be good enough for this, but here we go. The internet's good. There's some really good charting on here. I'll show you in a second. But all of those metrics that I mentioned, we give you a full report on those. And as long as you can tell green from blue and red, you're well on top of it. It goes through all of the measurements that on value and timing that I talked about, and goes right down into dividend analysis and sales analysis right down at the bottom of the page. Okay, so a pretty comprehensive review of what's happening on every JSE company. For those of you that are trading overseas with PSG and you haven't got access to this fundamental data and technical data of overseas companies, and you don't know your way around easily, then the VectorVest product for whatever market you're trading in will give you all of that information at a click. Okay. Get out of that again. And I right click, guys, I can pull up a chart. Now, there's lots and lots of ways to get to the chart, but that's the chart of Sasol. And I've loaded it. I loaded it with the stochastic because I remember about 20 years ago Sean telling me that he liked the stochastic better than any other indicator. Am I correct in that, sir? He's nodding his head, ladies and gentlemen. So I put up the stochastic in honor of the big fella. And there's the chart over the last year. As you can see, a lovely big trend in Sasol. This is a company, folks, I'm not allowed and licensed to give financial advice, but this is a company that I think should be bought and locked away. On every chart I put on an 89-day average. That's what I've always done. If I was doing a course on trading a 5-minute chart of the DAX, which I've done many of, I may add, then I would also put on an 89-period average on a 5-minute chart. The fundamentals are good, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that are position traders, if you did nothing else but just hold the share as it moves up the page, that would be wonderful. For those of you that are traders, then if the fundamentals are good, if the share is in a good solid trend and the old stochastic gets down around here, well, that's been a darn good place to be a buyer. Okay, and that's what it's saying now. Okay, so if you are a technical trader, I think, and I'm sure, that if you put together the fundamental position of the share with the technical position of the share, with the technical position of the overall market that I haven't really dealt with in any detail in this presentation, then you can simply make better decisions, and you're going to find that your hit rate goes up considerably, and you're going to find the whole journey emotionally much, much easier to handle. And that, folks, is the position on Sasol, and I think that Sasol, with the general market, looks for a strong advance over the next few days. Sean is giving me, gesticulating that I'm in fact blethering on far too long. Those of you that know me, they'll know that it takes a lot to pull me up. I want to go back. Telkom was a really good share this year. It flew up the page. It's been at the top of our ranking. And I didn't buy the darn thing because I've said I wouldn't buy Telkom. VectorVest was right. I was wrong. Standard Bank has moved. It's been up there for a long time. Group 5 is looking quite good. Now, there's lots and lots of techniques. I've just given you a brief overview of the program, but the program finds undervalued stocks that are aggressively growing their earnings safely. That are going up, and we want to buy those into a general market that's going up. Now, guys, the VectorVest product is a product for those people that want to take the stock market seriously. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes a little bit of work to get your mind around it. It's going to take a few hours to get your mind around it at the start, and it's for people that want to build wealth in the stock market aggressively but safely over the next few years. There's enough people on the internet who'll promise you riches quickly with no effort. I'm afraid that's not VectorVest, okay? So if you think it's going to be a 2-second job to make yourself turn 10,000 Rand into $1 million, then that's not VectorVest. But if you want a slow method of building up wealth safely and progressively, week by week, month by month, then VectorVest will do that with very, very little effort on your part. Because I know Sean so well, and I value his friendship, I would like to offer, and because we had technical problems, I would like to offer everyone a 5-week trial of VectorVest for free. If you go down to I'll go to the end of my presentation, guys, if you go to your computer, I don't think this link is going to work, it's not interactive, but if you go to a computer and you type in vectorvest.com/PSG, okay, that'll take you to a landing page, and if you put in your name and telephone number, then what they're going to do is give you a free trial. There's no credit card required. Now, with that free trial, I'm going to send you a copy of Stock Strategies and Common Sense. It retails on an American bookshelf at $24.95. And I have 10 copies of a CD course that's sold in America for $2,000. And for the first 10 people to sign up, I've got 10 copies left. I had 1,000 printed. And I have 10 left. The Americans tell me they're not printing any more for me because it cost a fortune. So I have 10 copies left, and for the first 10 people to enroll, I've got the Americans standing by to count the first 10 people who actually go for the 5-week trial. Then I'll actually be posting you off a CD set that's valued at $250 when it becomes available again. So if you want to go ahead and just take a 5-week trial for VectorVest South Africa, and with VectorVest South Africa, you're going to get VectorVest US thrown in for free. That 5-week trial is worth $59, okay, and I'm going to throw in this little book at $25, and for the first 10 people, a CD set which is worth $250. To try and make up for the little bit of angst that we had at the start of the presentation. There's no risk to you whatsoever. After the 5 weeks, you'll get an email from VectorVest, and they will ask you, would you like to go ahead? If you want to go ahead, then VectorVest costs 49 American dollars per month. It's on a month-to-month basis. There is no contracts. If we can make you money, then we shall be quite happy to stop it, okay? If we can't make you money, then we don't want to take your money. But if you can make money with VectorVest, trading conservatively in undervalued shares that are aggressively growing their earnings safely, then you're going to struggle to make money in markets at all. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but if you put a few hours of effort into it every week, then I think that you're going to find the rewards exceptionally good for you, okay? Any questions, folks? Now I need to get back to my presentation here and my show. Go back and go back and any questions, folks, that I can answer?
Please go on there.
Lydia, you just need to go to the website and go to www.vectorvest.com/PSG. There it is. Sean's put it up for us. And if you go there and just type in your stuff, then you're going to get an email for us with the username and password. There's no credit card required. Then you've got a full month to, in fact, evaluate VectorVest to see if it's for you. Okay. Thanks very much indeed. Okay. Yeah, the GoToWebinars, folks, is designed for 18-year-olds with really, really good eyesight.
Record section. Okay.
I don't know about that, guys. I thought. Anyway, there is no credit card required. Nothing will be debited off your credit card for 30 days. It's as simple as that.
We'll send them properly.
Okay. We'll get a proper link to you. Okay. Okay.
That's the way about clearing out. Any other questions?
Any other questions, guys? That's it. Okay, guys. Well, thanks very much for your time. If I can help you in any way, then please give me a shout. Okay, Sean. Thanks very much for the ability to speak to your people. Cheers, everyone.
Okay, people. Also, my sincere apologies from my side also for the technical hassles. What we'll do is we'll send you the PowerPoint presentation as well as the recording. Just remember, we're going to have a traders forum in George next week. So those of you in the Cape Town, George area, I'm coming down to George on Tuesday the 29th for a traders forum. So if you know anybody in that area, let us know. And then the 6th of May, I'm in Pretoria doing the traders forum there. And we only start the webinars again with all the public holidays coming up in May. We only start again on the 14th of May, and that's will be the third tranche of the financial statements. We're discussing the cash flow statements and such. And then the 28th rather of May is we'll be discussing some technical analysis and more specifically continuation chart patterns. And yeah, so guys, thanks a lot for your support. Thanks for your patience, and thanks for the good turnout we've had today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you later. Thanks. Bye.